The Senate summons CBN's officials over 30 trillion naira loans. They plan to question the officials regarding the 30 trillion ways and means loan obtained and utilized by the federal government during President Buhari's led administration. Senator Issa Jibril, chairman of the Senate Ad Hoc Committee, tasked with the probe, disclosed the committee's intention to commence the investigation during an exclusive interview. The way and means loans involve an overdraft directly from the central bank to address budget deficits or national contingencies requiring approval from the executive and the ratification by the parliament. That means the National Assembly also approved that loan. So we need to be very clear about that. It's not just the executive. The National Assembly must approve the loan. So the way the Senate resolved to investigate the alleged recklessness in government spending during President Buhari's administration, attributing it to the current food and security crisis in the country. Jubri mentioned the commencement of the background checks based on available documents and plans to request information from the CBN before the committee formal investigation. The investigation aims to uncover, among others, details about the loan recipients, terms and conditions, the collateral, repayment status, and potential beneficiaries. Senator Jubri emphasized the need for transparency and accountability in the understanding of the loan impact on the economy as it were. So the current food crisis, security crisis, the senator now, the Jubri, is attributing it to Buhari's administration. The effects of what we are seeing today started allegedly from the Buhari's administration. It remains uncertain if the probe were sent to summoning the embattled SYCBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, as the investigation, progresses. So, under the Buhari-led administration, remember the Edo State governor, Godwin Obaseki, he was screaming that the federal government allegedly was printing money. The CBN was printing money to the federal government that it will have inflationary effect on the economy of Nigeria. As at that time, I could remember Godwin Obaseki saying that to the federal government, but people thought he was playing politics. In this part of the world, when people come out to say things, especially people that understand how economics, how it works, the dynamics in it, when they scream, especially when they are politicians, they always are quick to call it a political play. But now look at the impact. People printing money. You're just printing money, pushing so much money in the circulation without way of even recovering the money. Now it has cost, the inflation is high, unemployment is high, food crisis is high, security crisis. But for me, if this investigation will be transparent as the Senator Jubril has said, then the former president, what stops you from summoning the Buhari himself? In other countries, South Africa for instance, they summoned the former president. He's being questioned even when he failed to appear. He was jailed. There is nobody above the law. In Nigeria, we've never had that as a precedent. Nobody has been bold enough, no administration has been able to summon the former president, even when it is clear they have committed infractions. Now it is still in the realm of allegation. I'm not saying Buhari committed it, but in their investigation, this investigation will not be complete because the executive was the one that initiated it, and the executive was headed by Buhari. For the loan, the way and means loan to have been approved, it must also be ratified by the National Assembly. So many people should be called, not just Emefiele. You can just call Emefiele. Emefiele was given directive to issue this loan, and he was appointed by the president. He bows to the president's order. He who pays the pipers, they take the piper's tone. So if Emefiele has acted in this manner, then he didn't act alone. There's nobody. There is no cause without effect. There is no cause without effect. Somebody initiated that loan, and it came from the executive. It was ratified by the House of the National Assembly, the Parliament. So why are you inviting just Emefiele? If you truly want to be sincere, they've not clearly mentioned that the Emefiele will be invited, but if you are inviting Emefiele, then you should invite the executive, the head of the executive, which was President Buhari, and the Parliament, those people that signed the documents. Those are the people you should. Don't just invite a party to come and answer for others when it was not the only one involved. So why this summon is quite important. It is important that we know how these monies were spent, what projects they were tied to, the collateral, what have they done with the money, the repayment status, how much have they paid back. It is also important to hear from the one that initiated it. Remember, the president of the country is the chief accountant of the country. He's the chief. Oh. If anything should go wrong, he must be held responsible, especially under the executive, because there is clearly division of power. Though in Nigeria of today, there is nothing called division of power. We have seen how the legislatures, they become rubber stamps, to the president. Anything they send under Buhari, there was even a time that the bill was the former Senate president said Buhari cannot be wrong. Anything he sends, it must be approved because it means well for the nation. I was now asking then, is Buhari a perfect human being? Do we have any human being that is perfect? No human being is perfect. Everyone is prone to mistakes. So if you are labeling someone as perfect and you cannot check their I-6s, that means whatever they send to you, right or wrong, you approve. So Buhari should be called. Lawan also should be part of those people because they matter. Whoever signed the document, if it is Lawan, then if it's someone else, they should come and give account. But if you are calling just someone in Emefiele alone, then that investigation, it is never transparent from the get-go. Emefiele alone cannot be questioned. Whoever initiated that loan, the ways and means loan, to cushion the effect of the budget, the deficit, and for other national contingencies, they should be questioned. That is how investigations are done in advanced countries that they know what they are doing, countries that are sincere, countries that give accounts, stewardship, accountability. So Buhari was the chief accounting officer of his administration. So is Tinubu. So was Jonathan. So any investigation, so was Obasanjo. Any investigation under their administration involving the executive, which they signed, they must be there to account. Otherwise, the investigation will never be transparent. So that is my advice for the Senate president and our senators. You are doing a very good job, but be bold, be daring, represent your people, and be fearless while you are standing on the law, holding the law as you go by. That is what we want our senators to do. Thank you.